Hey, what's up everybody? mbcrump back here again, and today we're going to be talking about yet another PS2 on PS5 save game exploit, and this one comes to us by the way of a project called UltraC0re, and it works with the game that's called Jak X Combat Racing. Now this is yet another one of those PS2 classic titles that is working on the PlayStation 5, so think of this such as Star Wars Racer Revenge, where it uses the Master Core and the Lua Core in order to exploit the PlayStation 5. Now, what is really nice about this release versus some of the other releases is that this game is still pretty much available. I just did a search for it and I was able to find it. Now, again, this is not going to do us a lot of good right now, but I thought I would just go ahead and explore it here on the channel today. So let's go ahead and jump straight over to our PlayStation 5. Okay, so I'm back over on my PlayStation 5 here, and this time I am running a 4.03 machine. We do know that with Poopsploit, which has been tested on this so far, it only works up to system software version 12.00. So this definitely isn't one of those instances where you want to play with the patience to jailbreak, especially in these really early stages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop that disk into the drive. And there we can see that it is spinning up, and there it goes. It has now been added to our downloads and uploads. If we scroll down here to the game itself, we can see that this is setting right at 3.85 gigabytes. Now, one thing to note while this is copying over is that the disk itself, and I'm referring to the North American version of the game, only ships with version 1.03. So we are going to need to go ahead and download version 1.04, as that is what is compatible with this game. And so all you'll want to do is come into Orbis Patches, search for your game or your title ID. As you can see, I've went ahead and pulled up the US version here, and I can see patch 1.04 is out. And so if you just go ahead and click on that, and then go and click on where it says download piece PKG. And so once you find it, we're just going to drag and drop that onto the root of our USB drive. And so once the game loads up, the very first thing that we're going to want to do is to go ahead and select new profile here. And then I'm just going to give it the name mbcrump. And by the way, what we're going to eventually do is going to overwrite this. So don't get too attached to the name there. And we're going to select yes, and we're going to select yes again, and we're going to allow it to create the save game file. And we're going to hit X here, and when we replace this save, we're going to kick it off by going right here into Adventure. Now there's a bunch of other options, but we're only going to be using the Adventure option here. Now if we go back to the application, we can go ahead and close it, and if we take a look over at the information here, you will see that it is at 1.03. Now just a second ago we downloaded the update file, so now let's go ahead and apply it. Now there's a couple of ways that you could update the game. Now you could update this through Sony's servers, but you might get the firmware update along with it. Or you can be a little bit safer like we were, and we just went ahead and downloaded the update PKG, where we can come over here, and once we get jailbroken, go ahead and install it. Now I'm going to go ahead and assume that you are jailbroken, and we're going to go to debug settings here, game, and then package installer, and we're going to select the update file just right there. And at this point, it has been updated. So let's go ahead and head back over. And so we'll take the options button and then information again, and we're at 1.04, which is exactly where we need to be at. So now let's go ahead and let's go up to our settings, and let's scroll down to save data and game app settings. I'm going to go to PlayStation 4, and then I'm going to go to console storage, and right there we can see we've got Jak X Combat Racing, and I'm going to take the option to copy that, and we are going to select the option to override the data. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring that USB drive over to our PC. Okay, so now once you've connected that drive up, you're going to see we've got a PS4 folder and then save data. And right here is our account ID. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and copy that out because we're going to use that in just a moment. Now back over in the project page here, if we scroll down, you'll see a couple of different zip files. You'll see this one right here, which matches up to my version, which is the USA version, or this one over here, which is the European version. Now again, do keep in mind that if you go into the PS4 save data in your account ID, you can see exactly which one you were using. So as you can see right here, mine is 7842, so let's go ahead and download that one. Now I'm going to head over to garlicsaves.com dashboard, and we're going to go ahead and add that profile if you haven't already. So as you can see, this one right here matches up to what we saw over here in save data. So let's head over to the re-sign option, and we're going to select PS5 12.40. We're going to browse for files, and we're going to select the CUSA07842.zip, and we're going to start the re-sign here. And now we can go ahead and download the result. And so on the top here, this is my USB drive, and I've just went ahead and navigated into that folder. On the bottom here is the re-sign. So let's just go ahead and grab both of these files and drag and drop them and replace the files in the destination. Okay, that looks good. Let's take that over to our PS5. Okay, so over on our PS5, we're going to go to USB drives now. Okay, and so we can see we've got Jak X Combat Racing there. So we're going to go to copy, and we are going to override what is in the console storage. Excellent. So now at this point, let's go ahead and go back. And currently I am jailbroken, so I'm just going to go ahead and reboot my machine here. Okay, so now I just rebooted, and as you can see, I am no longer jailbroken here. So let's go ahead and run the game, Jak X Combat Racing. Okay, and so we'll finally get over here to the Jak X Combat Racing main menu, and we're going to take the option to load the profile. And if you see this right here, very good work, because you have got this working. So as you can see, it is definitely some sort of overflow here, as the word UltraC0re can't even be displayed. Let's go ahead and press X on this screen. And as you can see, it automatically changed this to a different language. So before this was in English. So let's go ahead and hit X on this screen. And we'll press triangle again, and right there it is. It is booting up. So here we go. UltraC0re for Jak X by Madam 6, platform PS5 4.03. And it does have a question mark in the listening, and that is because I forgot to connect to the network. So let me fix that. And it is now listening on port 10.0.0.11.8888. Now, if we head back over to the repo, you can see there is a poops.lua that you can download. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And after we do that, let's go ahead and bring up Netcat GUI here. First thing we want to do is to change the port number to 10.0.0.11, and this is going to go to 8888. And then I just navigated over to poops.lua here, and so let's hit inject payload. And right there you go, serving elf loader now on port 9021. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we could do stuff like run kstuff.elf by changing that over here to port 9021 and now injecting the payload. And there it is. Welcome to kstuff-lite 1.07, PlayStation 5 firmware 4.03. And so there it is. And again, do keep in mind that this isn't very useful at the moment, but this could absolutely be useful later on. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.